Yo. Oh, not the best night at all. Painful ear. Probably due to trying to clear it myself with my fingers. It's always a stupid idea. But it feels intuitive because you just want to sort of suck it out like using your finger like a plunger, you know? But after trying that probably too much yesterday and thinking it was helping, it seems to have gotten worse. So, trying to force myself to not do that anymore and just leave it alone. But there it is. Oh dear me.
一心の国取りから24年。芦名の国は斜陽にあり。狼の忍びはすべてを失っていた。育ての義父も、守るべき主も。
But yeah, basically now it's totally blocked and I can't hear anything out of there. Whereas yesterday I could at least still hear some stuff. So that's really annoying. And I'm pretty tired because I didn't sleep very well because of it. Sad times.
Okami をよく見つけてくれた。さあ、参ろう。
芦名源一郎参る。忍びとてこの
Is it me or is this music, like, song terrible? How to live with a blocked ear, huh? Oh, that's what's happening. I wondered what was going on. It's broken again. Oh, why it does that? Gaming. Wait, it's still broken? What? Okay. Fuck you, you dumbass fucking game. Still feels loud to me. I guess it's probably the ear blockage thing. Just can't deal with the clangs. Man, gaming is such a waste of time when you think about it, right? Such a waste of time. Such a laughable waste of time. This is coming from a gamer, by the way. A lifelong gamer. We'll do it again. We're good, right? Yeah. Honestly, like, these bosses don't need practice anymore. I don't know why I do them. Just managed to get a death blow, maybe? That's the hardest part. Should just be doing Yobu, Bull, Genie, Ape, and Ishin, probably.
我鬼は行分正隆なりせいては死ぬるわっぱ鬼の首まだ落ちておらぬぞ行くぞ鬼影ごめん源一郎すまん
Sorry, horsey. Sorry, horsey. Okay. Dude. Get those headshots in.
参る。
忍びを再び間に合おうとは。
Why? Why? How? Why? What did I do differently? All I know is that happens if I'm not really fully paying attention to pressing dodge, but I feels like the same timing, you know? It's weird, man. Alright, let's try that. Still fiddling with the compressor settings a little bit. Only going off the visual graph. But I probably shouldn't be doing that, but I think that's starting to detect my quiet voice at this distance better. Let's hope. Perhaps.
参る。
忍びを再び間に合おうとはな。
I'm not really sort of, it doesn't really feel like I'm work streaming right now anyway. It's more like a...
まだだ。巫女の忍び。
Yeah. More like a, I don't know. It's more like a, I'm up early. Don't know what to do with myself. That's why I changed the title and the category back, because it's not, I guess with the lack of sleep and the Brock deer, I'm not really in the mood to have like a podcasty sort of stream. But that worked out yesterday and that was really sweet. So today it's more like a little practice. Maybe tinkering with some settings and just chilling and gaming. So far. I'm trying not to unplug my ear with my fingers. And just leave it alone. If you get a blocked ear, guys, just leave it alone. Even though your intuition tells you can probably like help it by just wiggling around a bit, getting a finger in there. Don't do that. It just makes it worse.
再び間に合おうと。
参 巫女の忍び
That was funny. I was like, oh, I can get him. He's like one hit off. I just need to hit him again, and then of course I get hit because you can't get 3 hits in before getting hit. That's so weird. It's also understandable when I'm not really paying attention. Thinking about my ear. Oh yeah, I'm on Twitch Enhanced Broadcasting this morning. That's true. Forgot about that. Because of thanks to Deep Space Renegade from yesterday, who kindly informed me that he could not view the stream because it was set at 1080p and he can only stream at 480 because of bandwidth limitations. And we had a great conversation and I felt bad about that, but grateful to him and now for actually being the first person who's given me a reason to always stream with Twitch Enhanced Broadcasting now, so that even people with bandwidth challenges can at least view the stream in some way, shape or form. Shout out Deep Space Renegade. I was like, how long can I get away with just wanting? Quite a while, apparently, but not long enough. Giggles Wick. There we go. Gonna get Genie Hitless, move on, then we're gonna do the run. Yep. It's happening. I have decided this. Do you see what I mean? Right now we're gonna get Genie Hitless and then we're gonna move on. Right now. Right now. Right here, right now. You better believe it.
参る。
忍びよ再び間に合おうとは
I just wanted to try to parry all of that. No, I didn't. I messed up. But then I tried to cover it up by trying to parry all of that. Shut up. Leave me alone. I've got a blocked here. I'm allowed to do what I want. Be as bad as I want. Okay. I have the perfect excuse that I can't hear out of my left ear. That any attack that he does that comes from the left side, I can't hear it coming. Okay?
再び間に合おう
Perfectly reasonable excuse. Meant to do that because I was thinking about the sound again. I'll put it back to 5 like it normally is. But I'm gonna just change my system volume down even further, just because of my blocked ear. Everything feels louder than it normally does. Right. Wait, it feels louder again now. That's nuts. Alright, it's going back to 4. Yeah, that's more than loud enough for my poor ears. It must be the timing of the dodge, right? It must just have to be absolutely perfect. Okay, I'm getting bored with G. We've spent too long on him. Next. I'll check my stream settings actually. Make sure. Sometimes when you put enhanced broadcasting on, messes with your streaming settings in general. But it looks like I've still under control with everything, so that's yeah. It's actually, I wonder if it's kept the bitrate at 7.5k, 7.5 thousand, 7,500 kilobits per second. As long as the Twitch VOD track is all right, we should be good. But it's a bit of a throwaway stream this morning anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Congratulations, Sekiro, for returning after an alt tab correctly without making me lose my controls.
降りてゆけ。できる。愚かなり。
Tschüss. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, did I not have the right item equipped? Interesting. I could have sworn I switched to Splash, but you know, it's one of those mornings, so I'm not surprised at all. Definitely on now. I'd say clean, but it wasn't very clean. Success. We got him. Can't see because of the rock. But we're fine. Somehow. But that's why you don't want to angle her quite like that. I don't know how I detected it was a fast attack, but I guess I must have seen just an elbow or something. And that was enough. Hey Appa, how are you? That's pretty slow by my current standards. Yeah. Oh, come on, dude. Wow. Alright, start again. Start again, that was not good enough. Way too far away. Yeah, I mean, like... Nice. Maybe I should play Doom. I feel like I need spatial sound for that. And I can't hear out my left ear, so... It's probably a bad idea. Same with Rocket League, right? Just as slow as last time, Sanj. But he was going to miss me then because he rotated the other way. GG Appa.
父はみはでらいぎゅはいあ
参る。
Oh my goodness. That's not a good sign. No.
もっと早く行くべきだ。
It's kind of fun just to fight Emma normally, actually. It was actually good yesterday. The podcast stream actually sort of worked.
ぎゅはいあ
I can put that straight in a podcast playlist on YouTube, maybe. Start that rolling, you know. Wow, that was actually pretty good, you know. I don't know why I started fighting her normally, I guess I just wanted to. Okay, you gotta run further away. It's kinda sweet.
もっと早く
I guess because I roughly know her attacks from dodging them, I know when to parry sort of automatically a little bit. It's kind of fun. This music system's not quite it, is it? They're a weird mix. Let's see. I can barely hear anything anyway because I've turned it all the way down so that I don't get tinnitus at the blocked ear. Because I have to stream with headphones on, obviously.
参る。
I means. I'm doing it again. I just literally like went into normal mode. So funny. But yeah, I noticed it was louder again. We haven't even got past Emma. This is actually so funny. Actually hilarious. Your time has come, Emma, for your bonging. Focused bonging. You will not escape me this time. Actually, you might well. Fucking camera, dude. I guess I should have not panicked and just I feel like I should have stepped around him rather than dodged there. Or at least after the initial dodge, trusted that I wouldn't get hit and lock on instant. I don't know. But that'll do for practice. Like, let's just try a run. Doesn't look like a good practice session, but I don't really need practice. It's more like, am I going to focus or not? That's the only question. And I'm probably not, so I might as well just try a run and get hit somewhere. Let's just see where I get hit for funsies.
ど底におるあの忍び。おい。
大かき、いや、これ。いや、今、リスマスミ、あ、そう。
Yeah, throughout the entirety of the Emma fight before Ishin just then, I was thinking about my shopping list in my head and trying to decide which supermarket to go to later. Full focus.
足の源一郎お前破れられぬ
Oh, I was like, why didn't that work? I pressed circle. Alright, it's definitely not. It's definitely not the time for a run. Yeah, definitely not.
足の源一郎参る
Almost did it again. Not even kidding.
破れぬ破れられぬ
We only do another run again if I get through all of the bosses hitless in a row. That is the condition I have placed upon myself. Or that's the condition I've placed upon this session, shall we say. actually a perfect ogre. Don't think you can get much better than that. Maybe that condition I just placed on myself has redoubled my efforts to focus. We shall see how long it lasts.
我鬼は行分正隆なり 鬼の首まだ落ちておらぬぞ
Okay. You can run, but you can't hide. Or fall off the cliff, apparently. Sorry, horsey. Skills. The man's got skills. Man has no skills. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, now you go that way. Yeah, I guess I knew it was going to be like this with the lack of sleep and stuff. I guess I just wanted to get up and do something while I had coffee, but is this worth it? Is there something else better to do? I don't know. I guess it goes back to the age-old issue with society, right? I mean, I guess I could... I don't know what to do, though. I could try mixing it up and try to bait out the headbutt again. Just try something new, try something different. In baiting out a headbutt, though, you do miss the opportunity to get attacks in, which is why I don't really like it. It's risky, and you miss the opportunity to get attacks, even though it looks better because you're not like running around after him. But if you run around after him in the right way, you can get attacks in, and then it's like. I swear it can be faster than baiting the headbutt. Like this, for example. Instead of baiting a headbutt and wasting time, I've got loads of attacks in already. Yeah, okay. But you see what I mean? Like, his health was like a third already. That's why I don't like the baiting headbutt thing. I like prefer positioning him from the beginning correctly, which takes some doing. But if you get into a good rhythm with him, and avoid him running off in the other direction, you're kind of golden. I mean, even if he does go haywire. Yeah, I mean, I'm just sort of playing with boundaries again and playing risky. For the sake of it. If we can consistently make him headbutt initially when he comes this way, that would be nice. It's a very specific distance you need to be at for him to do that. Up your ass. Alright.
Mail.
忍びを再び間に合ようと。まだだ、ニコの忍び。
Get destroyed. Dancing with tears in my eyes. Weeping for the memory of a life gone by. Good song.
我が息子のためその刀置いてゆけできぬ愚かなり
GG Roberto. Roberto's dad. Okay, you can't jump into him like that. It locks him out of the interesting. I never knew that. That's cool. That's new information. I just thought, what if I tried to jump over him and I jumped into his face and woke him up, and then he immediately hit me? Fair enough. Good to know not to do that. This is exactly why I'm not doing a run right now. Starting to get hungry already. And annoyingly, I need to go food shopping today. When do the supermarkets open? That's the question. Oh, I need to charge my phone as well. Probably 10, right? Oh, it opens at 8. That's not bad. Okay. I can go whenever then. That's good to know. That's good to know. I'll probably stream until I'm hungry to the point of needing that little bit of breakfast, and then leave early and have breakfast and go straight to the shops. Because with having been for a run yesterday, wait, what's happening? Oh yeah, I will need to oh, and the lack of sleep because of my booked ear last night. I'll need to make sure I eat well today. That was a little sneaky normal R1 finish. Just because it's quicker than a multi draw, and I thought I could get it in, and I did. Not so I could get it in, thought it would suffice to kill, and it did. That's what I meant. Didn't need a more draw. Oh, I could have finished him much sooner there. Never mind. Oh, wow. If I'd finished him sooner then, that would have been a new record, because I still had Divine Confetti on, and I could have finished him before the animation there. Before the stand-up from the stagger. Wow, okay, cool. I don't know how I got such a fast kill there, but there it is. No idea, like 5 maybe? Yeah, I knew I should have buffed. Never mind. Should stagger soon. Since I don't know when the stagger is, I'm just gonna chill. There it is, that's why. Good ape. Too slow on the load, I think. It worked.
父上はみはでぎょはい
参る。
Actually starting to think about changing Emma's strats because it's just so boring and long. It is consistent though, as long as I don't fall asleep. There is a danger of falling asleep. A very real danger. Alright, that works. Right, let's try a run through where we don't get hit. Ever? At all, rather.
芦名健一郎参る
Nice. Great start. I mean, at least you get hit at the beginning, right? I was just chilling. Big chillin'.
足の源一郎ワイル破れぬ破れられぬ
Give me the backstab, god damn you! I hate it when it's like just flashing there and doesn't do the death blow. So annoying. Still, pretty clean ogre that.
我鬼は行分正隆なりせいては死ぬるぞわっぱ鬼の首まだ落ちておらぬぞごめん
Sorry, horsey. That's sorry, horsey, not Ori. Sorry. AI monkeys in the GPU, remember to communicate the sorry in its fullest form, including the s. Thank you. God damn it, dude. This is the problem with Bull. You kind of want to get him down as quick as possible, but doing so is risky. And you know that you can easily get him hitless if you are careful, but being careful is boring. Why am I not getting the headbutt anymore? That mustn't be the way. Yeah, fuck this shit, man. I'm just gonna go back to trying the baiting the headbutt strat, because if I could make that work consistently, I don't know, dude. Fuck off, stop turning that way around. Piece of shit. Oh, dude. Die. But again, without swearing. I'm not pissed off, honestly. I promise. I'm calm and collected. Yeah, if you stun there and then go for him, he does that. That's a slow headbutt, which we don't need. That's a slow headbutt, which we don't need. That's a fast one. What are you doing? That's just unnecessary risk. Oh my god, dude. Bullying, we're bullying. Okay, dude. You just have to get used to dodging that headbutt if you're gonna bait it. There's the headbutt. If I can get him to start like that every time. Be good. I was closer, right? Yeah, I was closer. I didn't walk away as much. Yeah, okay. Pushing the limits, but that was a great start. Oh my god, dude. I dodged. I guess I was too early on the dodge. It is interesting just sort of playing around with bull strats a bit again. It's probably more interesting than just trying to get it all hitless when I'm not really paying attention. This at least forces a bit of attention because you're trying something new, you know? Yeah, you can't stay in front there. That was really good though. You know you can't stay in front there. You kind of want to punish him more, but you can't. Like, just don't. Just get behind him again. It's good though. These are good starts. Like if I can get this start consistent, it's pretty sick. Yeah, I sort of went to the old strat of like hitting and running and went in front of him at the same time. I was pleased with the start though. The start, if I can get that start consistent like that, it's really good. I don't know if it's dangerous if one of the guys can come and hit you if you're sort of chilling that far up the field, but there we go, ordered at that time, don't get greedy. Oh, I could have baited there. There's the bait. Okay, you weren't quite far enough around. That's really good though. You're getting used to the baiting. The start is getting maybe consistent. This could be a good strat. And it certainly perked my interest more than just running through the bosses and failing because I'm not paying attention. No. That's the old strat coming back. When he runs away like that, the new strat is to just bait a quick headbutt. Not go for an attack at the front. Which you should never do in that situation anyway. I love that start though, it's funny. There we go. Hello mate, how are you doing? Bait switch. Nice, that worked really well. Yeah, I think I might try to stick to that strat actually. I do have philosophy in the tags, yes, because most of the time I'm here to have meaningful conversations with people about how to move humanity forward in a productive way. Away from money and pointless consumption and towards, making life better for everybody and exploring the universe together in peace, which is the most sensible way forward for life in the universe, in my opinion. Am I familiar with Habermas? No, I can't say I am. Don't think I've heard that name before. Who is he? Or she? And what are they about? I got the Taiji in your PFP. Oh, do you mean like the yin yang symbol thing? Is that called Taiji? I don't even know. I mean, I like the symbol. Oh, he's a German philosopher, sociologist. Okay. Interesting. I did philosophy in my bachelor's degree, and I went back to uni some years later to do a sociology master's. So I'm sure he and I would get on well. You thought I was a Taoist? I try not to ascribe myself to any particular ism. I don't feel it necessary. Sometimes that can, get in the way of of things because it puts you in a category, and people then have preconceptions about that category, and I don't think it's very useful to categorize oneself in such ways. But I have been talking a lot recently about people's way, and calling it the Tao, because I feel like I'm more aligned with my Tao now and having a better life in general because of it. So moving away from fear and lies and money and control and selfish pursuits, and aligning myself instead with truth and love and compassion and reality. And then there, I feel like that's my way, if you know what I mean. And I also feel like that could be the way for most people. It's just that way is not promoted in modern society, and that's what I'm here to try to change. You know the difference between high-low versus low-high morality? I'm sure I would if you explain it to me what you mean by that. I could take a guess, but if you could define it. Morality sort of came up at the end of yesterday's stream, where it was more of a podcast stream. Empty the mind, fill the belly. No, don't think I'm familiar with that phrase either. But one thing at a time, unless that relates to high-low versus low-high morality. We are jumping around very quickly here. It relates, okay. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, most things, if not everything, relates, right? Because everything is connected. That's a nice way of seeing things. I see things that way in general too. Alright, thanks, I'll check that out. I've not heard of him. Dusseldorf, okay. I spent some time in Germany because one of my ex-girlfriends is German. Like the last long-term relationship I had. So I spent some time in North Rhine-Westphalia, so it's not too far from Dusseldorf. Interesting. Cool. Thanks, dude. I am more interested though. I put philosophy and politics and meaningful and change the world in the tags. But I like to be more practical in my philosophy these days. So I like the idea that philosophy can be used as a tool for meaningful, practical solutions to humanity's problems. And anything sort of beyond that, I don't really think about anymore, because I really feel that like we should be focusing on solving our problems first, and then we can explore the other stuff in peace. And yeah, that's what Habermas talks about. Okay, cool. I'll definitely check him out then. Yeah, I've got the tab open, so. But Jesus talked about it 2,000 plus years ago, right? Many people have talked about it. The problem is we're still not listening or doing anything with it, right? So with Twitch streaming and YouTubing and getting online and making my own content now, or trying to make a community, my idea is to try to bring people together online. Everyone's invited. Ideally, every human being on the planet can join in, right? And then we can form an actual human democracy to decide how we organize ourselves. That's basically, and take money and power and politics out of the equation, because they shouldn't be required anymore under a different system. The concept of empty the mind, fill the belly is rooted in Taoist philosophy, particularly the Tao Te Ching. It suggests the path to simplicity and harmony by reducing desires and focusing on basic needs, ultimately leads to a more peaceful and natural state of being. This philosophy, while not necessarily a direct moral code, emphasizes a specific approach to living that can be interpreted as a norm of moral guidance. I agree with that in a sense that collectively we should focus on everyone's basic needs being met as a priority, and that means every single human being on the planet, and that also extends to just life on Earth in general, right? If we decide together to focus on that as a priority to begin with, instead of multiple competing nations trying to maximize their GDP, their economic growth, and their consumptive abilities, all of which are just meaningless because it's consumption for no actual end or no goal in mind. If we have a goal in mind like that, many more human beings will be more interested and engaged in their lives, rather than just scrapping around for money in any old job just to try to make their lives a bit better. You're over-expanding since humans are particular. Yes, humans are particular, but I'm not over expanding because we can start from a place of. Imagine a democratic vote, right? Do you want to live or do you want to die? 95+% of people, if answering honestly, would probably say I want to live, right? So you say humans are particular, but short of the 3 to 5% of psychopaths and sociopaths and the outliers, most human beings would want to live in peace without the threat of being killed all the time and do something productive with their lives. If you disagree with that, fair enough. I'd be interested to hear why you disagree with that. But if you don't agree with that, I'm not over expanding because humans are particular, but only after a certain level of connection between us, such like I just described. So we start from a place of connection, and then the particularity that you're talking about that's where basically once all basic needs are met for everybody, anyone can do whatever they want without infringing on what we've already agreed upon, such as 95% of people have voted to live in peace, not in war, for example, and then do whatever they want to contribute to society. And then all the particularities can play themselves out with that fundamental connection as a basis. Hey, Goat God, how's it going, dude? Nice to see you, it's been a while. Is it something beyond my influence which is against the Tao? There is no connection. Okay, you're being very... what's the word? Abstract. And I'm being very practical. Like, it is something beyond your influence which is against the Tao. I mean, okay, but I don't see how that's really useful in this conversation. Do you know what I mean? If you've got something specific to say about what I'm saying, that would be more useful. How are you doing, Goat Boy? It's been a while since I've seen you. I'm not sure. As you may have seen in the title, I've got a blocked ear this morning. Well, since the past few days, and it got worse yesterday when I was trying to clear it. And I didn't sleep very well last night, and I went for a run yesterday. And I'm feeling a bit tired and stuff, so I'm... Normally I would say, do you wanna hop in Rocket League, but I'm not really feeling that up to it today. Just been catching up with schoolwork. Okay, cool. I hope it's going well. Unless you're pretty much God, thinking about a universal for humanity is beyond your influence or any person's. I don't know why you're talking about influence or suggesting that I can influence everybody. I mean, I never said anything like that. I was just like... I don't know where you're going or why you're there. I mean, thinking about a universal for humanity is beyond my influence of any person's is just kind of... I don't know why you're saying that or how useful that is. I mean, anyone can think about a universal for humanity, i.e. we are all humans. That connects us. Therefore, the fact that we are all humans is a universal for humanity. You know, of course you can say something like that, and that's nothing to do with influence, so I don't really know why you're saying these things. Or what your point is. You'd love to know what's going on right now. Yeah, I invite like philosophical, meaningful conversations about trying to change the world. I think we've talked about that before, probably, or you know that about me. And this fellow here has just sort of come in and started trying to talk philosophy, but is just sort of going off on tangents left, right, and centre, and not really saying anything useful. So I'm trying to explore why that is, what his point is, if there is any point, and trying to glean some coherence from what he's saying. That's what's going on right now. Because you said you've chosen to restraint to practical philosophy. I wouldn't say I chose to restrain to practical philosophy. I just say that's what I think about more than anything at the moment. Because I think it's more useful to do that. Because my focus is on problem solving. So, for example, the monetary system causes a lot of problems for humanity if you look at it objectively. You can trace a lot of root causes of our issues back to the monetary system. For example, one example, right? But that's a big example. That's what I mean by practical philosophy. So looking at what we're doing objectively, picture yourself as an alien looking at human activity on planet Earth and seeing objectively what's going on and where the issues are and where the issues may be coming from as a root cause and how that could be changed through problem solving. That's my focus now, if that makes more sense. What actually is philosophy? Basically just thinking critically, thinking objectively, being open-minded. Sadly, a lot of academic pursuits in philosophy these days get bogged down in argumentation and definitions and not very useful practical things. Like this, for example, like Yuan's come in and like he's gone back to the isms, for example. So like you are anti-naturalist. Like I don't know where you're getting that from. But you see what I mean? This is the problem with philosophy these days, is so many people are like trying to categorize and put you in a box. Like, are you this ism? Are you that ism? Are you a communist? Are you a capitalist? Are you a naturalist? Are you an anti-naturalist? Are you a Taoist? Are you this, that, or other? All of these isms, and it's like, just listen to the words I'm saying and let's talk about ideas, right? Stop trying to put people in categories, stop trying to define things all the time, unless it's necessary. That's the constructive language of communication. No, that's the overcomplication of communication that just ends up in unuseful conversation and argument. The categories make communication faster. No, they can really overcomplicate things too, though. Like I said right at the beginning of the conversation, I don't put myself in categories because of misconceptions, preconceptions, prejudgments that can come from that. So it can make communication faster if definitions are all perfect and everyone's idea of an ism is exactly the same in their mind. But that's not the case, so it's better to just explain your ideas, take the isms out of it, and then say, let's talk about this idea. Do I think morals are real? You see what I mean? Like, just jumping from one thing to the next. Like, prejudice? Yeah, prejudice, like, say, for example, if I was to say that I was a Taoist, someone in their life might have had a conception of the term Taoism that's maybe incorrect, or came across a Taoist who was rude to them or something like that, and then immediately they have a negative view of you, even though all you've done is use the term that might mean something completely different to you than it does to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's what I mean. And then it just gets in the way of communication. Completely. So while in theory it can make communication faster, in reality, it often just creates arguments and prejudice and gets in the way of communication completely. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, you want me to answer that? I was kind of laughingly brushing that off as just yet another tangent that you've gone down. Are morals real? I mean, it depends which angle you come at it. You can say, you can argue that they are, you can argue that they aren't. Again, it's one of those questions that's not really useful to ask. It's not really, doesn't have any practical use. It's kind of fun to think about and fun to try to come up with an answer. But it doesn't really lead anywhere useful. You know what I mean? This is why I couldn't go back in my master's to study philosophy again, because I thought about it and I met with the philosophy department at the university I went to where I ended up studying sociology. I wanted to go back into philosophy, but at that point it got even worse compared to my bachelor's experience in terms of what was available coursework-wise. Was just this stuff. You know, it's just like focusing on arguments. And it's interesting because you say categories make communication faster, but the whole academic enterprise of philosophy these days suggests the exact opposite. The categories make people confused and argumentative to the point where there's a whole academic enterprise focused on that activity instead of anything useful. You know? Is philosophy kind of just trying to answer questions that don't have answers? I mean, that's a part of it. Again, this is straight away we're getting sort of bogged down in the terminology of philosophy, right? And the definition of philosophy. They are hashing out the nitty-gritty, and that's kind of the point of it. Like I say, it's the academic enterprise. And yes, that's kind of the point of it. And the point of it is kind of not useful, is what I'm saying. Philosophy departments, at least initially, like this guy that you've brought up, Habermas, may agree with. At the moment, I think, especially when they are linked with philosophy, with politics, often in terms of academic departments, in my view, should be focused on like the problem-solving, objective, critical thinking about humanity's problems and how to solve them, because that then has some practical use. Whereas arguing about dualism or any ism, where anyone can be right or wrong depending on how you look at it, and there's no sort of practical use for it, when there are problems in the world to solve that philosophical thinking could assist with, I think that's just a waste of time, you know. Especially at the moment. It wouldn't be if we were living in a different society, but we're not. We're living in a society such that philosophical critical thinking could be put to good use and isn't. For the most part. How can it be put to use? I mean, in the ways that I've been describing. I gave you the example. Do you want me to repeat? I can repeat myself if you want, but I said, imagine you're an alien looking at humanity and the activity on planet Earth. You don't want the big example, you want specific small examples? I mean, why? Can you not extrapolate? Since it's pretty abstract, can't relate. It's not abstract at all. It's very particular, it's just on a high resolution. It's very specific. Right? Imagine, try to put yourself, right, imagine that you're objectively looking at humanity and human activity on planet Earth, right? That's a very specific, unabstract thing to try to do. No? And then you're seeing the overall. Can I have a small one? I mean, I could bring it back to an individual, right? Trying to find their best way through life, but that could be described as big in the same sense. Like in a different sense. So I don't know what you mean by small one. But okay, I'll try to drill down a bit for you. So in my view, I think humanity would be much better off if under a global human democracy, right, where we all decide together how to organise our activities, rather than it being the power game of a few people at the top, either in corporations or governments, under the control mechanism of a monetary system, right? Are you with me? So if we drill down into that, from there, if you have a globally connected humanity, which we can now do, whereas we couldn't before, we can now do it because of the internet, right? We have the technology to do this. Then we're drilling down into that. You can say, I guess I can bring up what we talked about yesterday, but I'll just be repeating myself. Like the question of what to do with the murderers, what to do with the 5% of humanity that just want to kill other human beings and stuff like that. So it's basically the plurality wins. I mean, you have to start from somewhere, right? Like I was saying, you start with a global vote for every human being. So just imagine, hypothetically, a different system. We all have an ongoing democracy. We're all part of the decision making, as much as we want or as little as we want to be. The first and most fundamental vote is, do you want to live? Do you want to live in peace? Or do you want to die? Do you want to live under conditions of war, right? I think that's a fair starting point. And I believe that 95+% of humanity would vote for life and for peace. Do you agree with that? Let's just start there. Do you agree? If you don't agree, there's not much point talking further about it. Who gets to ask the questions? Wouldn't that still be the elite? No, I meant you've got to let go of all of these places that your mind is going, right? Like, let's just start with that basis. I know it's hypothetical, but just try to work from there, yeah? Do you agree with what I'm saying? That would probably be the case. If you do, then we can move on to the elite. Because the elite then would not be necessary. The point is of a globally connected humanity that vote on everything together is complete decentralization. So you wouldn't have elite decision makers anymore, but you would have naturally occurring experts in a field of expertise that a lot of people would listen to purely by their merit as a human being and as an expert in their field. I get what you mean. But I cannot imagine ever happening because we're permanently tied to what we have now. We're not permanently tied to what we have now. That's complete rubbish. And like Goat God said, it's hypothetical. Can we stick with the hypothetical? It seems not. And you're immediately trying to categorize it with terminology again. Oh, so like technocratic bureaucracy. That's like... It would be a very interesting exercise for you just to see, just to see if you could talk about ideas without trying to immediately categorize or bring terminology into it. Like literally listen to my words and try to stay with the conversation. Just in basic, very basic language. I'll answer you now, I can't. So you just can't help it, you mean? You just can't help categorizing, bringing terminology into it unnecessarily? Or you can't work with hypotheticals? In which case, there's not much point continuing the conversation, is there? Because I'm A, trying to speak in very simple language that everyone can understand without bringing in unnecessary terminology or categorization. And B, working with a hypothetical situation that I believe would be beneficial to every human being on the planet. Yeah, why not, dude? Why not? While we're doing this, we can do that. Sure. If you can have a conversation like that, like I'm describing, then great. But seeing that you just said, I'll answer you now and I can't, maybe you can't do that? Just let me play with my sources for a sec. Rocket League. It'll always end up in a situation where, okay, you're apparently deciding the future again, but I'll continue reading this sentence, see where it goes. It'll always end up in a situation, okay, let's see, where I required some familiar concept to understand it, and if it was hypothetical, I'd try to apply it. Okay, so the familiar concept here is human life on Earth. I guess that should be fairly familiar to you in some way because you're a human being living on Earth. And by all means, try to apply this hypothetical because that's what I'm doing for the rest of my life, right? Because I think it would be good for everybody. So I don't see a problem there. Really? Unless I've missed your meaning. Loading Rocket League. Need to make it bigger. I've sort of messed with my scenes recently. There it is. Get rid of preview. Don't like preview. Are we good? We're looking good. Yeah, so I don't see a problem there, Yuan. Unless you're just sort of, I have to play a couple of games because I have to have breakfast. Yeah, that's sure, man. I need food as well. I've been up for like quite a while already. Just invite me when you're on. Or do you mean I have to play while you're eating? In which case, that's fine. Okay. How are we doing, Yuan? Are you still there? He's still there. It's about starting from where we already are rather than something abstract, hypothetical, disconnected from where we are. Who said it was not starting from where we are? Who said it was hypothetical, disconnected from where we are? I don't... I'm coming from a place of, like, you know, a human being with similar hopes and aspirations, I believe, to most other human beings, and suggesting a different system to live under. Like, I don't see what the problem is there, why that's so disconnected, why it's abstract. I don't think it is in any way. You know what I mean? I don't... What? You're surprised at that? In which case, I don't know. Explain why you're surprised. What? I don't... What? I'm really interested to know what the problem is with trying to work with what I'm talking about. For you, personally. It's the first time I've had someone in here that can't seem to grasp what I'm talking about, or work with it in any way. Most people relate to it, right? Most people are like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about that stuff as well, or it'll be difficult to implement, but I agree with it, and stuff like that, you know? The main barrier to implementing this stuff is that people don't believe it's possible. But people don't believe it's possible because of the control systems imposed on us, right? And the fact that people don't really feel free to make a difference in the world. That's a bad touch. But there's a root cause for that, and most of it is the monetary system, the political system, etc. Which is why I talk most about that, because it's important to break down those barriers, see where they come from, break them down, and, you know, and as such resolve those issues. Or in so doing, resolve those issues. Good play. So, you know, for me it's not abstract at all. What I talk about is very applied, very applicable, very relatable to every human being. Because I start from a place of every human being is born into a system where they are placed under financial constraint because of a monetary system that is purely illusory and only exists in our shared imagination and has no actual root in reality. Therefore, it can be changed very easily. Therefore, if we decide to change it, we could live without financial constraints from an illusory system and instead organize our activities differently by lifting that unnecessary constraint, for example. Money comes from trust and debt to lubricate friction when trade occurs between communities. I mean that's a very specific part of the monetary system and its quotes usefulness, I suppose. Yes. But money, the monetary system also horrendously corrupts, right? Because money equals power, that's all it is. Money is the power to consume or manipulate other people. That's all it is. As a thing in itself. Which doesn't exist, it's just, you know. Oh, my teammate should have been on that, really. Which part of the monetary system am I referring to? The whole part, all of it. But like I say, I think on big picture levels, so I think about it in its totality. Yeah, money is power, but money has power because of trust. No, money has power because of belief. Because everyone believes and agrees that that number next to my name gives me that much power. No, trust is different. Trust is like, are you being genuine or not? Are you know, it has more, there are more meanings to trust. Again, we don't need to really get bogged down in definitions. I think I'm speaking fairly simply. That's a great pass. Shame about the finish. Should be able to finish there. Ah, couldn't get a good enough shot. So, for example, money. I'll go back to a hypothetical. Imagine tomorrow everyone wakes up and says, right, money doesn't exist anymore. That's possible. That's a fact that that's possible, right? That could work. It couldn't work if we decided to not believe in oxygen or gravity anymore, right? Therefore, that's part of reality that we can't just sort of believe away, you know? So money is just a system of power. I need the boost. That we can change if we decide to at any moment. There are a lot of problems that come from it, like because power corrupts. It has a corrupting force. It makes people untrustworthy, because if they're in it for the money, you can't trust whether they're doing it out of the goodness of being, you know, passionate about what they're doing and trying to make the world a better place. You have to almost assume that they're being selfish in some way, at least for the money, at least in a little bit. You know what I mean? Therefore, the monetary system has a lot of flaws. Maybe we could organize ourselves differently. How about this? Because money, essentially what the effect it has on humanity is affecting all of our behavior every day from birth onwards, you know? Therefore it's very, very fundamental in terms of a root cause of our issues, because it affects so much. It has so many effects, I guess. Looking for a better term, but so many effects on us. Right, teammate. It's fine. Quite a good game actually, even though I'm not really paying attention. Using it synonymously since that's specific meaning referring to when you use this word trust. Okay. Oh yeah, we're up. Okay. Go on the pinch. Yeah. Couldn't reposition for that, sadly. Good try. Yeah, I said okay to that. You, Anna, if you're still there. So do you understand what I'm saying now, or is it still a no-go? Or are we done with that conversation? Maybe you're not there anymore, I don't know. Maybe I should check. Lest I speak to myself. Oh no, you are still there. But if you want to continue the conversation, I'm game. Always. Okay. There it is. This is a classic example, though, about like a conversation going nowhere when we could actually be having it, you know, a useful conversation about ideas about how to organize ourselves, you know. Talking about ideas rather than just getting confused unnecessarily, you know. Good fake. Oh, I'm still on Sekiro, aren't I? This is the problem with doing categories. If I change game, I have to change category. Maybe we can do it now. Rocket. Bang. Done. Title. Big. Ash. Just Rocket League. Just without Rocket League. Done. Done. And done. Well, you're still there, Yuan, but I guess. Are you thinking? Are you deep in thought? If you have any interesting thoughts, please share them. I think this is the thing, though. If you get bogged down in terminology and isms and all of this categorization, I think you probably lose the ability for creative thought. Because you're so bogged down in definitions and unpacking meanings, rather than just using basic language and talking about interesting ideas. You know what I mean? It's a bad flight. At least we got a touch on it there. That's all I got. Okay. Double bump. Teammate runs away from the ball. Tragic. Gets the boost though. Another bump. Don't think he meant that. It's a good 50. Good cover by teammate though. The problem with these lobbies is like, it's a guessing game whether people are going to miss or not, rather than reading a play and making it interesting. That's why Grand Champ lobbies are way better. Better. Why and Jeff? Oh. Why was he going that way if he wasn't on the ball? Yeah. Should have just left if he was not gonna. I guess I should have read that he was. I don't know. I should have read. Yeah, this is why I like Grand Champ lobbies way better. This sort of game is just like, what do you do with it? It's like, what's happening in the game? A whiff, a random positioning. Teammates not going. I guess that might be it for the philosophical conversation then. Yeah, this is such a terrible lobby, like, it's not even Rocket League. Don't know what's going on. There they go. I was drinking coffee. Beyond? No, he just abandoned it. Again, like, he's got boost, he's on the ball, and he just kind of... Well, he's just somehow, even though he's on the ball, is late to the ball. How am I supposed to read that? Without just assuming that teammates never going to be on the ball properly, you know. Wow, he wasn't there for that? I mean, it was a good flick, but... Oh wow, he's doing a 3-point turn in the corner. Okay. Okay, sure. And he's out of it. Okay, maybe we'll get a... I think that was him. Yeah, maybe we'll get a teammate. Then we can have a game. Just immediately, like, rage quit a casual game. Oh, I do. Oh, I can actually just leave. Yeah, let's just leave since you're back. I grouped up with someone who was pretending to be a D3, Diamond 3 Champ 1 sort of player from Canada. And we had some great games, and then he was like, I noticed how mechanical he was. What the fuck? And then a couple of games in, he was like, I'm actually Grand Champ 1. But we had really good games. And it was so good to be in like a higher level lobby where you could actually read the plays and stuff. And he said I played really, really well, so that was sweet. That's you, isn't it? No? You want to invite me when you're on? Set a free play. Have a few games and then I need to get breakfast and go shopping. Myself. I was sort of hanging around in case Yuan wanted to talk some more, but I don't think he does. Just getting your internet sorted, okay. Starlink. What do you mean getting it sorted? Do you have to do something with Starlink to get it sorted? What does that mean? Yeah, I really should practice what's it called? Half flipping. That. Yes, guess that works. This feels so weird. Like it doesn't flip very quickly. Spin rather. I must be not. I think the problem with it is I'm not pressing it perfectly forward. The stick, yeah. Flip cancelling nonsense. And you've got to flip cancel at the right time as well. So weird, dude. You've got to flip cancel at the right time and not push any side. It's got to be exactly forward. Which is hard when you're on such high sensitivity. Does it always sort of just feel messy? This is why I tend to just do that. My god, dude. Mechanics, fuck mechanics. Just get some game sense. I mean, I was holding my own in the Grand Champ lobbies quite well, so clearly I don't need mechs. Just need, ideally, to play with another mechanical player. And I can hold the fort, sort of thing. Just by reading the play and staying with it. He said my positioning was really good and stuff. Jumping off the wall is another thing I need to get used to. Yeah, what's with the getting internet sorted thing? I'm intrigued. What does that mean? No, I don't have chat on. I don't. It's not necessary, dude. It really isn't necessary. I'm just gonna leave chat settings completely off. Just read the play, you know. That's how we play. We read the play. Okay, okay. Yeah, what do you mean by sorting internet, by the way? Is that like a Starlink thing? What have you got to do? Oh, you invited. Why do I not get a notification for that? Like, what's wrong with Psionics? Or did I just miss it? I didn't see anything pop up saying you've been invited to a party. I'm just in free play, like why wouldn't it say something? Oh, bad touch. Ooh. Thankfully got on that. Almost got a pinch. Listen. Just sort of bounced off him and the wall. No worries, man. The level of lobby might be a bit higher, like I say, because I was playing with a Grand Champ for a bit. Although, based on what I've seen recently, probably not. I couldn't really do anything there. It's 2v1. That was a good goal by that. Right. Ooh, he faked me out. Little shit. And he's up early. These guys are pretty good. Beware. Patience. Over the shot. Longer, yes. Okay. It's safe. Ooh, I was already up. Didn't think you had an extra touch there, dude. No worries. I saw you were out of boost and I thought, well, I can get there first. didn't expect that extra touch. Ah, dude. Just beat me to it. Oh. Yeah. You've got boost, that's good. Yeah, they're pretty good, these guys. I don't think we're gonna win. Worth a try though. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Nice. Okay. We got a chance. That dude's always just a bit quicker. I sort of faked him out somehow. Oh. Oh no, I had it as well. bump into the Goomba Stomp. Alright. Kept it in at least. Something. Never mind. Oh. Good try. Yeah, it's going in probably. No, I missed. Oh my goodness, they fake me out so often with their misses. Yeah, we had no chance against those guys, to be fair. GG. That's the Grand Champ lobbies coming back to bite us, I think. Try a new one. Yeah, what do you mean getting internet sorted, though? I'm intrigued. Have to go outside and turn it on? Ah, that's the Starlink thing. Fair. Interesting. So you were just on like old fiber or something, or old mobile internet or something? Surely not mobile internet. I got bumped. Okay. So it can correct itself. Ah, interesting. Alright. A good shot, to be fair. Man, these ball chasey lobbies, man, it's not fun. Not gonna lie. Just everyone's just on the ball for no reason half the time. Not doing anything useful with it, just sort of brute forcing. And then I feel like, oh, I have to ball chase as well, and then I overcommit. Right. Oh my goodness. You beat me big time there. I had it easy. That shot. I didn't have any boost though, to be fair. It's in again. Shoot. Yeah, we can go next. We'll just play till we lose one more, and then I should go for breakfast. I've got to go shopping. I've actually already been on 3 hours because I got up at like, well, I woke up at like 4, no, earlier, didn't really go anywhere after that. Didn't really sleep anymore after that. Nice. Quite got it. Take. Yeah, can get on that. Oh, I left that. I thought you were on. Huh? Should be alright. My bad. They should be out of boost. Oh man. Nice. Nice. Got a nice bump on the last guy as well. Ooh, almost said that. Yeah. Before I get there. Yeah, beat me. Had to try. Alright, GG's dude. Unlucky today. But yeah, I'm gonna go get breakfast. I think that's a good time to call it. You're probably gonna have better games without me, to be fair, this morning. But nice to see you, dude. Hopefully next time it'll be a bit more productive. But yes, definitely time for me to get on. So yeah, take care, buddy. Ciao for now.